Hello everyone and welcome to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're going to take a look at some more characters from Star Wars The Force Awakens, and in these next couple of videos I want to give you a look at some action figures from Hasbro's Armour Up series of 3 3/4 inch action figures. First up we're going to take a look at an army builder, so if you guys are expanding your first order ranks, this is definitely a figure that I recommend picking up, and it is none other than this guy, the First Order Flametrooper. Now, at the time of filming this review, we are a couple of months removed from the release of The Force Awakens, and I've got to say I'm a little bit disappointed with the amount of screen time that these characters got. They were on screen for a very short amount of time at the beginning of the movie, and we really didn't get to see a whole lot of them in action, so hopefully in episode 8 we'll see a lot more of these guys, because they are very cool characters indeed, at least in terms of design. Before we get into the review of the figure, let's take a look at the packaging that he comes in. Once again, if you've seen any of my previous reviews on figures from this line, in fact I think I've only actually reviewed one other figure from this line, and that's Poe Dameron, then you'll know that the packaging is a nice presentation box style package, very similar to the multi-packs from The Force Awakens. As you can see at the top of the card we have the Kylo Ren brand image, as well as the Force Awakens logo just at the side. Below that, down the side of the box, we have some very cool artwork of the Flametrooper in action. As you can see there, armed with his flamethrower and spreading flames throughout the Jakku village. Just at the side of that image, we do have an image of the Flametrooper with the armour up piece in place. And then on the reverse side of the box, we do have a rundown of other figures available in this line. So we have a First Order Stormtrooper, Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi, Kylo Ren, and Poe Dameron. As I mentioned, I have reviewed this guy. You'll be able to check that review out on screen as I wave around my magic finger. And then Kylo Ren is coming up next. That's a figure I'm really looking forward to giving you a look at. So that is the packaging that this guy comes in. Now let's take a look at the figure itself. Now, if you've seen my review on the basic Build-A-Weapon figure of the Flametrooper, then you're not missing a whole lot with this guy. The only thing that has been changed up and shifted around with this one is the inclusion of the armour up piece. The base figure itself is exactly the same as the Flametrooper that was released in the Build-A-Weapon line, so in that respect, the weapons and the articulation are exactly the same. In terms of articulation, obviously this guy only has 5 points. We have a ball joint at the head, swivels at the shoulders, and swivels at the hips. Obviously when this armour up piece is in place, some of that articulation is slightly hindered, but the good news is you can remove this and replace it with the basic Flametrooper backpack, which I'll give you a look at in just a little bit. While we're on the subject of the armour up piece though, as you can see, these are very much in the same vein as the 1990s gimmicky toys that we used to get in the days such as the Power of the Force line and all that sort of thing. Very big, very clunky, never seen on screen, purely made just to enjoy as a toy. Now, as I've mentioned in previous reviews, with the Build-A-Weapon line and the Armour Up series itself, some of these figures are a little bit hit and miss. For me personally, the Flametrooper is generic. He's not that exciting, but again, to diversify the ranks and just to add something a little bit different to your First Order army, I've got to admit this guy looks pretty cool. I would have preferred if the armour up piece was white rather than this very garish red, just so that it fit in with the trooper a little bit more, but otherwise it's not a terribly bad piece. You know, it can be used as, I don't really know, but you know, it doesn't create a terrible look for the figure, so I'm not going to complain about it too much. As I've said, some of the figures in this line are definitely questionable at best, but this one is, it just, you know, treads the very thin line between goofy and you know, a guilty pleasure in many ways. In terms of the armour up piece itself, I'm really not sure what it's meant to represent. As you can see, the flamethrower does connect to the backpack piece. You've also got these vents at the back which give the illusion of some sort of jetpack or oxygen tank or something, not entirely sure. As you can see, you've got the First Order emblem on each of the shoulder pads, and you've got these large tubes that bring down from the chest area and come all the way down to the back. As I mentioned, the armour up piece is removable. You can actually detach the flamethrower itself from the armour up piece and then just slot that over the head, and that gives us the screen accurate look for the Flametrooper that we see in The Force Awakens. Now, as I said, we do have the interchangeable Flametrooper backpack, as you can see there, and just clips to the back of the figure, and then the flamethrower reconnects to the peg at the back, and then there you go, you've got a basic First Order Flametrooper. Now again, exactly the same figure from the Build-A-Weapon line, so if you haven't seen my review on that figure and you want to know a little bit more about this guy in detail, then be sure to check out that review. Again, it should pop up on screen as I mention it just now. But again, a reasonable figure, nothing too spectacular, but worth picking up if you can find it at the right price. If you do want to add this one to your own collection, as always there's a link down below in the video description which will take you to staractionfigures.co.uk, and this guy's currently in stock alongside the rest of the wave, so grab him while you can. So that's going to do it for this review. I'll be back to give you a look at some more armour up figures next. As I mentioned, I'm going to give you a look at Kylo Ren in my next video, and that's a very cool figure that I can't wait to show you. So until then, as always, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and may the Force be with you.